My dear, my beloved one. You can't imagine how long heaven has been waiting for you to open this message. We don't release words like this every day. This is a rare moment where time pauses in the unseen world, because you're standing right at the edge of something huge. Even before you blink again, something in the atmosphere may already shift. The air around you has been holding its breath, waiting to speak. And standing beside you, steady and watchful, is Archangel Michael. Yes, right now. That flicker you noticed, that soft thump in the quiet, the goosebumps running up your arm, you didn't make that up. We've been keeping an eye on the room you're in. The walls know stories, corners carry shadows, and there's an influence there that isn't supposed to stay. Take this in slowly. What you feel is not fear, it's protection wrapping itself around you. This is love moving faster than lightning when your soul might be at risk. It's God saying, "Wake up, my child, I'm opening your eyes." Before we go any further, promise yourself you won't rush away or skim this. This isn't random information, it's a rescue mission written just for you. You're not as alone in that house as you think. Some of what watches can't be seen with plain eyes. That's why God sent me to peel back the curtain, to show you what most won't even talk about, and to remind you heaven has never left, not for a single heartbeat. Take a deep breath right now. When you do, you're saying, "I'm ready." You're agreeing to let heaven unlock things that have been stuck for too long. If even part of you whispered, "This is meant for me," don't brush it off. This window won't stay open forever. Now breathe again, because what's coming might shake you, but it's also going to set you free. Think back to that sound you brushed off as the wind a few days ago. It wasn't just the breeze. That was the first clue. The energy that slipped in is clever, it hides behind coincidence, sliding between your thoughts like a whisper that isn't your own. Michael says, you weren't chosen only to make it through this, you were chosen to expose it. There's a presence lurking and it doesn't belong in your life. It has no part in your purpose. Worst of all, it's trying to block what's ahead of you. God saw it before you ever stepped inside. Heaven noticed the moment your light crossed that doorway and the atmosphere tightened, not because of you, but because darkness felt threatened. Archangel Michael isn't beside you by chance. When those marked as sacred face danger, he unsheaths his sword. And you, beloved, are sacred. Something has been trying to quiet your spirit. It works through confusion, drains your energy, delays progress. It makes you strangely tired, makes you doubt what you used to trust, makes you second-guess yourself until you start calling wisdom overthinking. That's its trick. But you aren't ordinary. You carry divine DNA. Your calling shakes up shadows, your voice makes the unseen nervous. Long before you were born, heaven whispered about someone who would break chains in their family line, and that someone is you. The resistance you feel now. That's the chain getting worried. Understand, this isn't about brick and plaster, it's about energy that clings to silence. It hides in the background until someone with light like you walks in and suddenly a battle starts. You weren't meant to stay blind. You were meant to notice the vivid dream, the chill in one corner, the way an object shifted when no one touched it, the weight pressing on your chest at night. Archangel Michael says, "This isn't your imagination, this is your signal." You have two choices: shrug it off and let delays keep stacking, or take heaven's hand and reclaim your space. You don't have to be scared, but you do need to act. When God steps in, the air gets clear, rooms feel lighter, even the floor seems alive with truth. Where light enters, darkness has no room left. And here's the truth: you are that light. You're the storm that darkness never saw coming. You're the answer to a cry someone in your ancestry whispered generations ago. Heaven is saying, this is your hour, your message, your weapon. Michael leans close. There's still time, but don't stall. That tightening in your chest, the racing heartbeat, the twist in your stomach, it isn't panic, it's proof. Stay present, don't half hear this. You've been scheduled for this moment. The things about to unfold are what darkness hoped you'd never discover. Child, beloved soul, there are no random events in God's kingdom. Nothing just happens by chance. If this word reached you right now, it's because heaven stepped in at last. Take a slow breath, not just air, but a soul-deep breath that softens your chest, lowers your shoulders, lets your spirit go quiet enough to hear what most people miss. Because what's next isn't vague or fluffy, it's precise. That place you call home. It's drawn more than casual attention. Some presences that never belonged slipped inside unnoticed. You've felt it, haven't you? In the silence you caught yourself sensing a watcher, something moving under the surface, a quiet that felt alive. Maybe you told yourself you were exhausted or just stressed, but your spirit doesn't lie. The world tried to dull that inner radar, but Michael has come to switch it back on. From the outside it's only a house, painted walls, framed photos, locks on the door. But in the unseen it's a field where light and shadow wrestle. And here's the plot twist: you were sent into that field to win. Tonight as you stand aware, heaven is rearranging the story. Chains are snapping, fog is clearing, and strength is rising in you. Step forward with calm courage. Invite peace into every corner. Fill the space with words of life. Watch how the heaviness lifts when you claim the ground you walk on. And remember, you don't need to fix everything in one day. Even warriors take rest stops. Even chosen ones pause, cry, or laugh at how wild this journey feels. Give yourself room to heal and room to grow. God isn't chasing flawless people. He's looking for willing ones. Give him permission to send allies, to surprise you with solutions, to bless you beyond what you can budget for. Let him rewrite the atmosphere of that house and the landscape of your heart. This is a turning point, and you're not standing in it alone. Michael is still at your side, steady as ever. Heaven's resources are already on the move. Walk forward, speak peace, and expect the shift. And if you ever feel stirred to support words like these, know there's an option to give super thanks, even up to $100, so others can find hope just like you have. Everything inside you begins to rearrange itself. The air doesn't just sit heavy anymore, it vibrates with a quiet authority as if unseen hands are rewriting the atmosphere around you. The very floor under your feet seems to agree, yes, it's time. Look closely, child, notice how the shadows don't stretch the way they did a moment ago. That isn't a trick of the lamp, that's a sign that what once hid in corners is losing its grip. When truth walks in, pretense must pack its bags. Archangel Michael says, this room is no longer a hiding place for fear. His sword gleams like lightning against midnight, cutting through stale memories and whispered lies. You may feel your heart racing, but don't mistake it for danger. That rhythm is courage waking up inside you. It's the same pulse that made your ancestors stand tall when storms rolled in. It's the echo of every prayer that asked heaven to keep you safe until you could stand on your own 2 feet. Now you can. Take a slow breath. Imagine drawing clean wind through every hallway, every shelf, every picture frame. See it pushing out the heaviness that used to sit there. If something resists, speak gently but firmly, this house belongs to light, not to fear. Your words carry weight because they come from clarity, not panic. Remember how you sometimes felt drained for no reason. How your mind replayed old arguments or doubts at the quietest hours. That wasn't weakness, it was interference. The moment you choose awareness, interference loses power. Even the smallest candle can chase off a room full of dark. That's you now, the candle, the torch, the dawn pressing through the window. Michael is arranging sentries along the thresholds of your life. Every doorway, every window, every digital screen you use is receiving a quiet seal of peace. He doesn't shout, he simply stands and shadows scatter. You don't have to earn this protection, you only have to agree with it. Nod if you must, whisper yes. There may be objects carrying stories you don't need to keep, an old letter that still hurts when you touch it, a gift from someone who spoke kindness with their lips but envy with their eyes, a chair that always felt heavier than its weight. You don't need to throw everything away, but you do need to decide which things deserve to stay in a room meant for clarity. Hold each item to the light of who you are becoming. If it doesn't match, release it. As you move, you might feel warmth sliding down your shoulders or a cool breeze gliding across your cheek. That's confirmation, heaven is working with you. Even the walls seem to exhale, finally free to hold peace instead of tension. God says, I am teaching you to partner with my presence. That means your laughter can be a prayer. Your music can become a wall of protection. The way you arrange your room can preach serenity louder than words. It isn't superstition, it's stewardship, caring for the atmosphere so your purpose has space to breathe. You've wondered if you're making all this up. But see how your body relaxes as you read. That's truth settling in. Lies create tightness, truth creates room. You're learning to recognize the difference. Soon you'll sense a new clarity about decisions you've been postponing. That conversation you feared. You'll know exactly how to speak it. The dream you shelved because it felt too bold. It's waiting, dusted off, eager to meet the new you. This isn't just about a house, it's about your whole path opening. Keep your ears tuned. Inspiration may arrive through a song on the street, a sentence in a book, or a child's unexpected question. None of it is random. Threads are weaving together, preparing a garment of destiny that fits you perfectly. Michael whispers again, walk through each room with confidence. Where your feet step, clarity steps. Where your gaze lands, safety lands. He invites you to picture light spilling from your heart like water, soaking carpets, rising against doorframes, dripping down curtains until every corner gleams with quiet strength. If tears come, let them. They rinse away agreements you made with hopelessness. They water the soil of new beginnings. You don't need to apologize for softness. Softness is how new roots grow. By now the heaviness that first clung to the message is loosening. You may even catch yourself smiling. That is not you being careless, that is freedom practicing its voice. Stay attentive in the days ahead. Small confirmations will meet you, a restful sleep after weeks of unrest, a conversation that brings laughter back into a room, a clear idea about how to set boundaries without guilt. Every sign is a pebble on the trail leading you deeper into wholeness. And when doubt tries to return, as it always tests the brave, remember this moment. Remember the stillness now living in your chest. Return to it, speak from it, decorate your life with it. This is how you keep the ground you just reclaimed. You're not leaving this encounter the same as you arrived. The shift is permanent because it's built on awareness, courage, and divine partnership. Walk forward knowing your space, your heart, and your calling are guarded. What once hunted your peace is now the one running. Hold your head high, beloved. You carry more than history, you carry permission to thrive. Let the calm settle like morning light through open curtains, filling every inch of the room and every inch of you. The quiet around you isn't empty anymore, it's alive with promise. What once felt heavy is loosening its grip like fog thinning as dawn arrives. The ground beneath your feet is steadying because heaven's authority has settled over this place. You may notice tiny signs first, the way light falls through the window differently, a warmth that seems to rise from the floorboards, the sudden desire to open curtains wide and let air sweep through. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations that freedom has begun its work. You are stepping into ownership of your atmosphere. Every breath you take in this room carries new clarity. Even your heartbeat is syncing with peace. Where there was once an undercurrent of dread, a current of courage is now flowing. Don't underestimate these small shifts, they are the first fruits of a greater breakthrough. Hold them close and nurture them with words of truth. Speak strength into the walls. Tell the corners they are places of joy now. Walk through each room with steady confidence, naming what belongs: laughter, wisdom, protection, creativity. If shadows try to linger, remember they can't survive where a heart stays rooted in light. You are not a visitor in your own life, you are the rightful keeper of this space. Let that awareness settle deep. As you move, remember that restoration is layered. Some wounds heal instantly, others mend in gentle stages. Be patient with the process. Keep clearing surfaces, opening windows, rearranging furniture if it makes you breathe easier. Physical order often mirrors spiritual renewal. Celebrate each step no matter how small. A tidy shelf can be a prophecy that chaos has lost its claim on you. And listen, there is guidance available as you go. That still calm voice reminding you of hope is not your imagination. It's the same presence that carried you through sleepless nights and kept you standing when discouragement tried to bury you. Trust it. Let it teach you how to stand tall without striving, how to be bold without harshness. This is strength at rest, a power that doesn't need to shout to be real. Some people won't understand why you suddenly protect your peace so fiercely. They might call it overreaction or superstition. But you know the truth, you're guarding the life inside you, the vision waiting to unfold. Protecting what's sacred isn't fear, it's wisdom. Draw boundaries where you need them. Fill your schedule with voices and activities that lift rather than drain. Your future will thank you for every brave no you speak today. Look ahead. A horizon is opening that once felt unreachable. Doors long stuck are beginning to move on their hinges. Ideas you thought were lost are resurfacing with fresh clarity. Relationships aligned with purpose are finding their way toward you. Even your body may feel lighter as stress unhooks from your muscles. This is what happens when truth replaces lies, the whole person starts to come alive. You may still face resistance, that's normal whenever growth begins. But now you carry understanding. Pressure doesn't mean failure, it's often a sign that you're close to new territory. Stand firm in the knowledge that support surrounds you. Picture light encircling this home, stretching outward like an unbroken horizon. Within that circle, fear has no legal right to remain. Keep speaking life aloud. Whisper affirmations in the morning, sing gratitude in the afternoon, let quiet prayers settle over your pillow at night. Fill the atmosphere with what you want multiplied. Soon peace won't just visit, it will live here, anchoring itself in every detail, the way you arrange books, the scent that greets you at the door, the softness in conversations shared under this roof. Remember, transformation isn't only about removing what's wrong, it's about inviting what's beautiful. Welcome creativity back. Invite laughter until it echoes through the rooms. Cook meals that smell like home. Read stories that feed wonder. Host moments of honest connection. Every act of goodness strengthens the new foundation being laid. You are entering a season where your presence will calm storms around others. Don't shy away from that responsibility. You've earned wisdom through nights of wrestling for clarity. Use it generously, but also protect your rest. Even warriors need replenishment. Balance courage with gentleness toward yourself. If you pause now and sense gratitude rising, let it speak. Gratitude cements victories that might otherwise slip away unnoticed. Say thank you for safety, for insight, for resilience. Gratitude is a declaration, I recognize the gift of this moment. And gifts grow when acknowledged. Look around once more. See this house or the inner house of your spirit as sacred ground. It's not about perfect walls or flawless paint. It's about what inhabits the air: purpose, freedom, steady love. That is the real treasure being installed here. Guard it. Celebrate it. Live boldly inside it. From here the story unfolds differently. Not with constant tension but with steady unfolding of all that was promised. Hold your head high. Keep your heart clear. Keep tending to the space where light now reigns. You are ready and so is your life. Back through the door. Treat the air around you as a living promise, soft yet steady, almost humming with welcome. Every step you take now writes another line in the story of this house. The light you've stirred here isn't fragile, it's bold, playful, quietly confident, stretching its arms into every corner as if it has finally found a place to belong. Michael's gaze softened, the edges of his sword catching a mellow gleam instead of fire. What was heavy here has lost its claim, he said, voice like calm thunder rolling over distant hills. But remember, a garden left untended will always invite weeds. Keep tending this space with laughter, with music, with gratitude. Call in friends who lift not drain. Let sunlight in even on days when clouds try to stake their claim. The walls seem to lean closer listening. Where a dull hush had once crouched in the corners, a new brightness hummed like strings tuning before a song. You may first notice it in subtle ways, the way morning light scatters diamonds across the floorboards, how sleep sinks deeper into your bones free of restless dreams. Even the scent of the air shifts, a sweetness you can't name like rain on warm stones. Heaven's story for you is widening. It's no longer about just surviving the night, it's about crafting an atmosphere where creativity, kindness and courage put down roots. Maybe you'll write again or splash color across a canvas or finally strum that instrument gathering dust in the corner. Perhaps you'll open your table to neighbors who need warmth. Even the smallest acts, steeping tea, sliding a chair into sunlight, rearranging a room, become sacred when done with awareness of the light that lives inside you. The angel raised one hand tracing a luminous line across the air. Shapes shimmered into focus like a map stitched with living thread. Patches of soft blue marked future friendships, bright gold traced paths of meaningful work, calm greens showed mornings designed for healing. A few squares pulsed gently, challenges waiting, honest conversations, courageous decisions, endings that clear space for beginnings. But none of it felt threatening, each spark carried purpose like lanterns set along a trail. You've been trained by shadows, Michael said, his voice a blend of steel and sympathy. That training wasn't meant to leave you frightened, it made you resilient, patient, alive to the details others overlook. Use those gifts now for building, not bracing. You're stepping into a season where wisdom and joy learn to walk hand in hand. He leaned closer, eyes steady, the gold in them soft as candlelight. Protection isn't about locking yourself behind walls, it's about awareness. Keep watch over what you let settle inside. Guard your focus. Feed your peace. Speak blessing over each room until the sound feels woven into the beams. That is how light becomes permanent. Then unexpectedly, a laugh slipped from him, bright, easy, catching you off guard. Also he said, don't forget to live. Eat food that makes you grin. Dance to music you can't sit still for. Take walks that make you tilt your face toward the sky. Light doesn't flourish in rooms where everyone tiptoes. Let your home learn the sound of your joy. A breeze wandered through though no window stood open. It smelled of pine after rain, crisp and clean. The weight that had clung to the corners for so long melted, replaced by a vibrant expectancy like a theater moments before the curtain lifts. Curtains swayed gently though untouched, and the floors seemed to exhale warmth as if the house itself had been waiting for permission to breathe again. You were never meant to creep through life shrinking from shadows. You were crafted to walk steadily, aware of the one who walks beside you, shaping each step with intention. When doubts come whispering, answer with truth. You are safe, you are seen, you are strengthened. And when weariness threatens to settle, remember this very moment how the light won simply because you chose to stand awake. Look around this room, this air, even the hush between sounds, all of it holds space for your next chapter. Write it with bravery. Fill it with stories worth retelling. Let kindness echo off these walls until it becomes their native tongue. Imagine dinners spiced with laughter, rainy afternoons wrapped in calm, dawns where hope greets you like an old companion. Michael straightened, folding his wings until they shimmered like woven sunlight. My work is lighter here, he said, because you've chosen to stand. Keep choosing. Keep claiming joy. Keep tending the garden you've uncovered. His words didn't hover in the air, they landed deep as if carving a promise inside your ribs. As his figure faded into quiet radiance, a steady strength settled in your chest, not a fleeting thrill but a lasting shift. The house, once heavy with echoes of old pain, felt alive, almost eager, ready to host laughter, purpose and peace. If you listened closely you could hear a sigh, gentle and relieved like timbers stretching after a long winter. Step forward. Throw the windows wide and let new sunlight drench the room. Let breezes carry the scent of beginnings across the threshold. Lay down rugs that invite bare feet, hang art that tells your evolving story, play songs that make the walls sway in rhythm. Welcome love to linger at your table, wisdom to wander your halls, hope to rest in your guest room. Stand here for a breath and let it sink in, this is only the prologue. The unwritten pages ahead wait for your courage, your humor, your resilience. Walk them out boldly. Let this home and the life you shape inside it become living proof that light always and without fail speaks the final word. Something had tried to make your surroundings a cage, using the air itself to whisper that you were trapped. But the lie is losing its hold. Right now the room you stand in is choosing sides, leaning toward life, waiting for you to decide how the story will go. Every wall, every floorboard, every corner has been listening, and now it leans with you toward peace. Michael's presence is steady beside you, quiet but unshakable. He gestures toward the corners of the room, the thresholds, the ceilings, places where memory tried to settle like dust. These walls have heard too many arguments, he says, voice like calm thunder, let them hear gratitude instead. Speak hope where heaviness once sat. Walk the floors as if each step plants a flag of peace. His wings shimmer faintly, radiating a soft gold that warms the air, making even the shadows feel less dense. You might feel a tug to keep looking backward, to measure today by yesterday's shadows. Refuse it. Your eyes belong ahead. The future is stretching open like curtains drawn back after a long storm. You will learn the language of clear air, laughter echoing through hallways, quiet mornings heavy with promise, nights where sleep is a gift instead of a battle. Even the smallest sigh will now carry relief instead of tension. This is how you reclaim ground, not by pretending pain never happened, but by refusing to let it steer. Open your windows. Rearrange the furniture if you need to remind yourself that the atmosphere has shifted. Let sunlight strike new places. Even a cup of tea on the porch can become a declaration that peace is the loudest resident here. Every breath becomes a conscious step toward freedom. Every glance across the room a silent affirmation that light now rules. The shift is also inside you. Where tension once coiled, steadiness is moving in. It will teach you to notice beauty quickly, the way light paints patterns across the floor, the way a breeze carries the scent of new beginnings. Small things will preach big truths if you stay awake to them. The lingering heaviness that once seemed to follow you from room to room is dissipating. The air itself feels lighter, as if the house exhales alongside you. You are being invited into creativity again. Pick up the journal, the guitar, the brushes you thought belonged to another season. Prepare a table and feed those who bring warmth. Plant something, herbs in the kitchen, flowers by the door, and watch how caring for living things heals corners of the heart you didn't know were waiting. Simple acts of beauty and nurture become spiritual anchors. Music, movement, painting, cooking, each one is a way to consecrate the space with your presence. Still guard what you build. Some conversations pull life out of a room. Some habits reopen doors you've just shut. Keep company with voices that honor the calm you're cultivating. Protect quiet times as fiercely as you once protected your to-do list. This is not fragility, it's stewardship. It's the responsibility of the awakened. Michael smiles at your resolve. Strength is not always a shout, he says. Sometimes it's a whisper that refuses to bend. Keep your focus. Keep your joy. And remember, you're never tending this space alone. Around you the atmosphere brightens as if the architecture itself is relieved. Even the air tastes lighter, carrying a clean rain-washed scent. You may notice sleep deepening, dreams becoming gentle teachers rather than restless puzzles. That is evidence that peace is settling in for the long term. Every morning may now feel like the first day of a new story, each dawn an invitation to walk unafraid. From here choose rhythms that keep the light fed. Music, laughter, prayer, honest conversation, rest, all of them reinforce what has begun. Write affirmations on sticky notes. Speak kindness to yourself in the mirror. Bless the doorway each time you come or go. Make meals slowly, letting their fragrance remind you that life is meant to be savored. Even mundane moments become sacraments when awareness guides them. This chapter isn't just about staying safe, it's about flourishing. Opportunities will emerge, some subtle, some bold. Friendships will deepen, work will align with meaning, hidden talents will surface. Accept them with curiosity. Walk through new doors with the same confidence that carried you through the last storm. Let your instincts guide you. If it nurtures the light, embrace it. If it feeds shadows, step back. If resistance reappears, don't panic. It's only proof that transformation is real. Stand your ground. Re-establish the atmosphere with your words, your music, your laughter. Nothing has the right to reclaim space you've set apart for peace. Declare it daily, moment by moment, until it becomes as natural as breathing. Look at your surroundings one more time, the quiet corners, the glowing windows, the floor beneath your feet. They're no longer holding yesterday's weight. They're holding promise of rest, of purpose, of stories yet to be written. Your home is alive in a new way, responding to your presence, reflecting your courage, echoing your faith. Step forward. Breathe deeply. Let your life inside these walls become living evidence that light once welcomed refuses to leave. Carry that assurance beyond this house into every place your feet travel. Wherever you go, the same calm, the same clarity can arrive with you. You are safe, you are capable, you are entrusted with rooms of hope in your home, in your heart, in the world waiting for what you carry. Keep walking with that awareness and watch how every space begins to echo the freedom you've claimed today. Now let the small things remind you of the bigger truths. Let the morning light remind you of new mercies, the scent of fresh air remind you that renewal is constant, the laughter of friends remind you that joy can be restored. Your home, your spirit, your life, all are aligned. Every corner now sings of victory, every surface vibrates with restoration. Your eyes have seen the unseen. Your heart has carried what was invisible. And now everything is made visible in peace, in clarity, in purpose. Now as you stand in your space, feel the difference. The heaviness that used to hover at the edges of rooms has been replaced with a vibrant expectancy. This is not subtle. The energy itself has shifted. The air is lighter, almost humming, carrying a sense that something extraordinary is unfolding. You may notice that even the walls, the floors, the ceiling, the very structure of your home feels different. They have been touched by divine presence. They have been realigned to hold blessing instead of burden. This is the beginning of a new normal. Do not underestimate the small steps you take from this point forward. Every affirmation you speak, every prayer you whisper, every song you sing, every item you place with intention is reinforcing what has already begun. Your authority is no longer latent, it is active. Darkness cannot re-enter unless you allow it, but if you remain vigilant, if you choose carefully what you permit in your home, your environment will continue to bless you instead of betray you. This is the power of a spiritually cleansed space. It responds to conviction, faith, and the presence of God moving through you. Michael remains near you in spirit even if you cannot see him. You may feel a brush of air, a sense of calm, or a sudden clarity that was absent before. Those are signs that the unseen is actively working on your behalf. He has cleared thresholds, broken cycles, removed residue, and secured your dwelling against any future attempts of infiltration. The angels who now patrol your home respond immediately to your voice. They do not need complex instructions, they obey the authority given to you through the Spirit of God. Speak with confidence because what you declare carries weight in heaven and on earth. Your heart is next. The restoration of your home is intrinsically linked to the restoration of your inner life. Just as you purged spiritual residue from the rooms, purge the hidden corners of your mind and soul. Old regrets, unresolved pain, guilt, bitterness, these can no longer find a foothold. Stand before mirrors and speak truth over yourself. Declare your purpose. Affirm your destiny. Let your own words become anointing oil for your spirit. This is the work of those chosen to walk in authority. This is your training ground for the greater things ahead. Every act of faith today plants seeds for a harvest that will leave you breathless tomorrow. Notice the subtle gifts that begin to emerge. Ideas will flow freely. Creativity will awaken in places you thought dormant. Insights will appear at unexpected moments. Opportunities will arrive disguised as coincidences, but they are confirmations that heaven is orchestrating your next steps. Relationships that once frustrated or drained you will either shift to alignment or fade away naturally. Do not mourn what is removed, celebrate it as pruning necessary for your growth. Your discernment will sharpen. You will begin to recognize immediately what belongs and what does not. Let this be your guide as you navigate every interaction, every invitation, every energy that seeks your attention. There is a renewed rhythm to your life now. You will sleep with less fear, awaken with renewed purpose and move through your days with more confidence. Even mundane tasks will carry sacred significance. Cooking, cleaning, organizing, all of it is now intertwined with prayer, intention and divine awareness. Every meal, every interaction, every breath becomes part of the spiritual architecture you are erecting. This is not exaggeration. The spiritual laws governing your environment respond to your active participation. You are co-creating the atmosphere with heaven. Choose wisely, act deliberately, and speak consistently. And know this, the blessings you are receiving are not temporary. This is not a fleeting reprieve. The atmosphere you have reclaimed, the spiritual authority you have stepped into, the protection that surrounds your home and your life, it is enduring. But it requires vigilance. Continue to guard your space. Continue to speak life. Continue to bless. Continue to remove what no longer aligns with your calling. This is how the supernatural continues to manifest in your natural world. This is how small daily choices echo as monumental victories in the Spirit. Expect miracles to follow. Health, finances, relationships, creativity, peace, all will align as you remain faithful in the spiritual disciplines that reclaim your home and life. The enemy knows his time has ended and every attempt to disrupt your progress will fail. But your cooperation is essential. Engage with your space. Speak over it. Live with awareness. Protect your peace as fiercely as you would protect the most precious treasure you own, because in truth it is more valuable than anything else, your mind, your heart, your calling, your future. Feel the presence of heaven surrounding you. Angels, Michael and the Spirit of God are not distant observers, they are active participants. They move in the shadows that once frightened you. They stand in the corners that once felt cold. They breathe life into the very walls that once carried residue of pain. You are now a point of convergence where heaven meets earth. Your authority, your voice, your faith, these are the levers that maintain this shift. Do not grow complacent. Do not allow distraction to reclaim ground. Speak, act, walk, love, serve, pray, worship. Every act contributes to the unshakable atmosphere of blessing that now inhabits your space. This is the moment of reset. Your house is consecrated. Your life is consecrated. Your calling is alive and active. You have been prepared for this, and everything that follows is proof. Peace is no longer a concept, it is tangible. Safety is no longer a wish, it is reality. Authority is no longer latent, it is operative. And as you continue every day, every choice, every spoken word, the walls themselves will testify. The house will reflect the heart of its inhabitant. And your heart has chosen life, freedom and abundance. You are no longer bound by what was. You are walking fully into what is, with heaven actively accompanying every step. Rise fully into this authority. Speak boldly over your home and your life. Let no fear, no shadow, no residue, no unclean spirit find entrance. You are sovereign in the atmosphere you now govern. This is the promise fulfilled in the natural because it has already been confirmed in the spirit. Walk confidently, act faithfully, love courageously, and declare without hesitation that this space, your life and your destiny belong to God. Every day speak, act and live as the ruler of your domain. And watch as blessings, peace, clarity and favor multiply beyond expectation. Amen.